All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you all for your patience. We had another committee who was working hard before us, and we needed an opportunity to get things set up in here to get going. And with that said, Madam Clerk, we go ahead and take the roll, please.
Representatives Bricken, Bolso, Capley, Eldridge, Gant, Garrett, Grills, Harris, Lamberth, Littleton, Parkinson, Powell, Russell, Stevens, Todd, Vice Chairman Jernigan, Mr. Chairman Farmer. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
And thank you for that. Members, have any personal orders, announcements? Anybody want to say anything before we get going today? We have a fairly light calendar. Shouldn't take us long. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and start item 1, House Bill 1675 by Representative Slater. Do I have a motion? Got a motion and a second, sir. Doesn't look like you have any amendments. You're properly recognized.
Accomplishes three things. First of all, it removes the requirement that participants in the relative caregiver program make no more than twice the federal poverty level. Secondly, it removes the requirement for a final custody order and allows any custody order. And then lastly, it requires relative caregivers to cooperate with child support proceedings initiated by the Department of Human Services. And with that, I stand ready for questions.
Very good. Members, any questions for Representative Slater? And I have Representative Parkinson first, right on time.
Thank you, Chairman Slater. I just want you to know I've been following this bill too. This is a good bill. I truly appreciate you bringing it to me.
Thank you.
Very good. Members, anyone else? Leader Lamberth.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And with that previous comment by my good friend, there are sign-up sheets down front.
Very good. Members, anyone else? We ready to vote? Any objection? Seeing none, looks like we're going to send House Bill 1675 to Finance, Ways and Means. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Ayes have it. Bill moves on.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chairman. Thank you, Committee.
Next item 2, House Bill 1816 by Leader Lamberth. Got a motion and a second. Sir, I don't see any amendments. You're properly recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And this is the codification bill from all of our hard work from last year collectively. It is the one bill each year that probably gets very little discussion, but if you wanted to go back and change something from last year, this would be the bill to do it in. We have not done so, which is why there are no amendments. Everything appears to have been codified exactly as you all intended.
A lot of hard work in this bill. All right, members, any questions for Leader Lamberth? Questions been called. All those in favor of sending House Bill 1816 to Calendar Rule say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Ayes have it. Bill moves on. Brings us to item 3, House Bill 1716 by Representative Gillespie. Got a motion and a second, and I see an amendment 12973. Is that something you want to put on?
Say the number again, please, Mr. Chairman.
12973.
Yes,
Got a motion and a second. Does the amendment make the bill, or is it?
it does.
It does. We want to go ahead, members, and put that on and let Gillespie explain it. All those in favor of adopting House Amendment 12973, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Ayes have it. Now we're back on the bill as amended, and you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Committee. As introduced, what this does is it specifies that a county with more than one general sessions judge, where the management and supervision of their judicial their judicial commissioners, where they supervise them, it's got to rotate every year, as opposed to in certain counties, you have a large contingent of judges, and it's kind of just stuck on one person in perpetuity. So this just would require that every year it rotates, as opposed to one person being in charge forever, essentially.
Maybe provide more accountability and oversight
Yes,
in those positions.
very much so.
Very good. Members, any questions for Representative Gillespie? Representative Parkinson, you're recognized.
And I'm not trying to kill you, Bill. I did want to say that, and I'm going to vote for your bill. So let me preface with that. I did ask about that, and they did say that they do rotate now, but nobody wants the position. So that's what I was told by some judges. So just want to give you that. So
Representative Gillespie, any comments?
Thank you. I appreciate those comments. Certain judges may have said that, but I would say the overwhelming are not saying that. And all this would say would be to allow that rotation to be a mandatory process as opposed to a voluntary process. And in my opinion, it would solve a lot of issues in a lot of different areas. So.
Thank you, sir. Representative Parkinson, any follow-up? You good? Okay. Members, anyone else before we vote? Seeing none, any objection to voting on House Bill 1716 heading to calendar and rules? All right, seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Ayes have it. Bill moves on. Thank you. Brings us to item 4, House Bill 1993 by Representative Stevens. So you got a motion and a second, and I see an amendment 13691. Is that something you'd like to move forward with, sir?
Yes,
Very good. Members, motion and a second. Does it make the bill?
it does not make the bill.
It does not. Members, let's go ahead and put that on there, and we'll let Representative Stevens explain that without objection. All those in favor of adopting House Amendment 13691, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Ayes have it. Now we're back on the bills amended. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill comes from a group of lawyers that practice in the area of conservatorships, and they're looking for ways to try to protect the wards. And one thing that they suggested we could do would be to increase language in the oath that the conservators or guardians file with the court that would include language such as, I will not mistreat the ward, I will not steal the money, I'm not going to sell their property without court approval, I'm not going to abuse them, all these types of things that we might think are common sense and take for granted, but that do happen. And then when the court finds out, they'll ask the guardian or the conservator why they did it, and the answer is, I didn't know, I couldn't. So if this language is in there, they have to sign this oath, and hopefully that will help deter some of these things from happening to the people that are supposed to be cared for by their fiduciary. And the amendment would just clarify that the clerk is not authorized to waive the in-person oath, that it would have to be done by a judge first. So that's the bill.
Very good. Thank you for that explanation. Members, do we have any questions or comments for Representative Stevens? Questions been called. Any objection? Seeing none, looks like we're voting to send House Bill 1993 as amended to calendar and rules. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Ayes have it. Bill moves on. Thank you. And then I have the last two bills here. I'm going to, Vice Chair Journey is going to take over. So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. We are on item number 5, House Bill 1824 by Chairman Farmer. Chairman, you got a motion and a second. You're recognized.
And thank you for this. This comes from the Attorney General's office. Members, what we're doing here is we're adding Kroger's to the list of settlement opportunities to go through our opioid abatement fund. I think we're looking at maybe $40-ish million that we're looking to get at some point in time down the road. So this is what this would do. So add Kroger to that list.
Members, you've heard the explanation. Any questions or concerns? Got a call for the question. Do you shop at Kroger's? Is that what-
I stick with Food City
Okay.
usually.
Okay. The question's been called. Good answer. Without objection, we're voting on House Bill 1824 to go to Finance, Ways and Means. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? I got one nay, and the ayes have it. Okay. Members, move to item number 6, House Bill 2000 by Chairman Farmer. Chairman, you're recognized.
Thank you, members, and Mr. Vice Chair. I appreciate that. This bill does two things. One, it changes the way that employees are paid. They can, right now they're paid in monthly installments. This would allow for periodic installments, and it's my understanding that could be weekly or biweekly. Some folks may not want to wait a whole month to get a paycheck, so it looks like good policy there. And also allows for the pay range to be adjusted to align with that of an associate justice of the Supreme Court. It would extend their title to Class 1 officials. Examples are commissioners of education, finance administration, transportation, and constitutional officers. So that's why they kind of adjust their pay structure and then payability. So with that said, and that brief summary, I move for passage.
Thank you, Chairman. Representative Powell, you were on first.
I have a couple questions. One is there a shortage, I guess, of being able to hire that they feel like a sufficient staff or find the appropriate people to pay?
Chairman, you're
Oh,
recognized.
thank you. Hey, that's a great question, and that was on my list to mention, and I didn't. Yeah, we're having issues competing to hire the appropriate staff that we need the Attorney General's office. So this would help do that. Yes, sir. You're correct.
Representative Powell.
A follow-up question. I know there's not necessarily pertaining to this bill, but I know there have been some issues with getting to certain things out of that office, such as AG opinions. That's been pretty broadly covered here. Specifically on my side of the aisle, we haven't been getting those. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe a pay incentive or pay increase will help get more of those Attorney General opinions back. Thank you.
Chairman.
And thank you. And if you have any issues with that, I know they work hard over there, and they they're trying to get members what they need when they're asked for. I know they're extraordinarily busy handling things for us across the state. So, but and they're here, and I'm sure they heard that. So, I'm sure they would accommodate any requests that you may have. Thank you.
Leader Lambert, you recognize?
Move previous question.
Questions have been called. Any objection? Seeing none, we're going to be voting on House Bill 2000 to go to Finance, Ways and Means. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. And Chairman, I'll turn it back over to you. Seeing no other further business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn if I have one. All right, I have it. We are adjourned.